we now are with Commander Pat Alesia, or as I keep on saying Alesia, because he should really be pronounced his name like that.
Right.
They have an IA.
Correct.
But none of your family do that, do they?
Well, we have a system where most of my family say Alesia.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yes. But my parents always said Alicia, so that's why I say Alicia, but everybody else says Alesia.
Oh, interesting.
It's
like me. My last name is Berman. I spell it B-U-R-M-A-N.
Mm-hmm.
My father and one brother spell it B-U. The rest of the family spell it B-E.
B-E. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is more traditional.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have a lot in common. But anyway, we're speaking to Commander Pat Alesia, which is the commander of the American Legion, the Nassau American Legion. And you're listening to him exclusively on MalcolmPresents.com. And of course, I'm Malcolm Berman, not Malcolm Presents. and basically, we're doing the show to talk about the American Legion and what it does. Why it's important to veterans and why it's important to all of us. And this show is going to just be me and Pat, and we're going to talk about what's happening in the coming year. You know, the big things that they have planning for Nassau County and beyond. Take it away, Pat. Let us know what the plans are.
Okay. The one significant event in January is our American Legion Department of New York Conference. And that's held between 21 and 23 January. And this year it's going to be held at the Desmond Hotel in Albany. And what they do is each year they rotate where it's held. Sometimes it's in Albany, sometimes it's in Rochester, sometimes it's in Buffalo, and sometimes it's in Binghamton. This year, primarily because of the virus, I think they're having it at the Desmond Hotel. And what it is we arrive on Thursday evening, check in on Friday, and then what happens is different members of the staff go to different committee meetings. And the whole purpose of that is to get as much information as we can from the higher headquarters. And then at some point in time, we share that information. And on Saturday, basically the same thing happens with additional committee meetings. But then Saturday evening, there's a big dinner reception where everyone is invited to attend. And we normally would have between, well, again, because of the virus, it may not be as high as it used to be, but sometimes it's like 200 people present.
So who are the posts invited?
Any post that wants to attend can attend.
Is that throughout the state of New York, or?
Yeah. You know, it's throughout the state of New York.
Statewide.
But again, you know, the cost is on your own, obviously. Right. So most of the staff members attend, and we do have some individual post commanders who attend. Okay.
Go ahead. Could it be any a member, any Legionnaire attending?
Well, yeah, in other words, what we have, each post has a county representative. So if someone were to come, it normally would be that county representative or either the post commander or the post adjutant. If they're willing to, you know, spend the money and make the trip, you know, they can attend, which is good. This way they get the information, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if I would attend, you know, just for party's sake. I don't know if I would attend something in Albany. Possibly if you had it in Manhattan.
Yeah,
which you're probably
that's true. That's true. But like you said, some of the more dedicated individuals like to attend, and we welcome them. We welcome them. And then what happens on Sunday morning, again, it's like a general session where everyone is in one big convention hall. And by Sunday afternoon, we're basically on our way home, you know. And then at the next county meeting, we will share all the highlights of what we learned with the rest of the county staff.
So you take your wives along on this?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Some people do, some people don't, but I do.
You do. Yeah.
Well, my wife is also a member of the auxiliary.
Right.
And the same time that we're having our little conferences, the auxiliary is having theirs. So
Do you record this? Do you have this on video or audio?
no, I don't.
Yeah, any reason why not? Because that might be again, that's a thing of communications right now with.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to have somebody with the expertise to do it. And, I don't know, it's something I could check with. I don't even know if the department, they may do it. I'm not sure, what they do or not, if they do it or not.
Because actually, if one of your people have the expertise, you could Zoom the meeting.
Yep. Well, actually, last year, that's what they did.
Yeah.
But the problem was only certain individuals were invited to the Zoom meeting.
Oh.
So in other words, like I didn't participate at all last year. I was the adjutant. But I think what it was the district commanders who basically attended the Zoom meeting. So.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, because that's what we're trying to do with the our Zoom. It's communications. It's the more you can get out, the more people listen to it, the more recruiting you're going to be able to do.
Yeah, the more information that you could push out, the more information people could take on, which is good.
Right, but plus what you also get is an input of new ideas. Again, a problem is once you are in, however long you've been in the Legion, you sort of not get stuck, but you think of your mind goes in one direction,
mm-hmm.
And it's hard to then become creative because you're looking at it from your point of view where everybody else did. If you get new blood in there, not that that you're doing it wrong now, but if you get new blood in there, they might have other creative inputs.
Yeah, they may have other ideas, and it's nice to hear ideas because then you say, okay, let's try that.
Right.
So you never know.
Yeah, because I have this political show before I had it today. It's Conversations with Deborah, another show that I have, and I always complain that the people who run this government are old. Not that's bad being old, but they think of the world in a different way than the younger folks do. I mean, again, I have the boys 26 and 25, and I talk to them, and they're presenting different things that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to infuse with the leader or anything, any organization, new ideas that you can grow.
Fresh ideas, new ideas, and kind of push them forward and see where we can go with them,
Yeah, and no matter what your political leanings are, you have a president who is 78 years old, and you have one of his big followers, and the Republican Party has Donald Trump, when he's 75, 76,
mm-hmm.
And how old is McConnell? And the guy's running our country.
And Nancy Pelosi is 80 years old.
Nancy Pelosi is 80 years old.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court is, there has to be room for growth. Like if you take a look when the Senate leaves, both parties, they're all full of white-haired people. Not that being white-hairs is bad,
Oh, you're right. But then we go back to the thing is, what's the term I'm looking for? Where you can only serve 2 years or 6 years.
Term limits.
Term limits, yeah. So that's one way of resolving that, but I don't think that's going to happen in the not too distant future.
Well, there should be term limits on the Supreme Court. They have somebody that's elected for life.
I think there's a reason for that. They want them to be there so they know they don't have to be influenced by certain people.
They want it to be non-political. But if you have
exactly,
16 years or 20 years is a long time to be on the Supreme Court.
Sure.
But anyway, going back to the Legion.
All right, so that was the American Legion Department of New York Conference. And then in January, we have our quarterly 10th district meeting. Now, the 10th district meeting is my higher headquarters. And the 10th district controls Nassau County, Suffolk County, and Queens County. And we have a quarterly meeting, at which point he has a staff and he has committees that present information. And then at some point in time, I, as the county commander, have to present to him and his staff what I've accomplished during the last quarter.
Who is him?
Him is Robert Shadler. He is the 10th district commander.
Uh-huh.
Right. And he has a staff the way I have a staff, and that's the way it worked. And it's nice because it also gives you a chance to meet, you know, your fellow Legionnaires from the Suffolk County and from Nassau County, from Queens County, and like you say, compare ideas, and it's helpful. It really is. Okay, so that's basically the two highlights in January. February is a month where we have several significant activities going on. The first of which is what I call the Four Chaplains Memorial Service. Okay, just to give you a little background, February 3rd, 1943, the USAT Dorchester was hit by a torpedo, and 672 individuals aboard that ship were drowned.
Wow.
And this happened 150 miles outside of Greenland. On board that ship were four chaplains. You had a Jewish rabbi, a Catholic priest, a Methodist minister, and a Dutch Reform minister. What they did was take their life jackets and gave them to four soldiers to save their lives. And in doing that, they basically lost their lives. And the last that they were seen on board the Dorchester, their arms were linked, their heads were bowed in prayer as they were lost to sea. Now, what we do is each year we have this ceremony at a different house of worship. Mm-hmm. So it's rotated. The last time we did it was in a Catholic church. That was about 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. This year, we will be doing it in a Jewish synagogue. And what we do is we have guest clergy who represent the four chaplains. So, you know, we have a Catholic priest there, we have a Jewish rabbi there, we have a Methodist minister, and we have a Dutch Reform minister that are actually there present and participating in the ceremony. And what they do, they participated in a candle lighting ceremony, as well as reading a biographical sketch of each of the four chaplains. Okay. And at one point, what's the word I'm looking for? Malcolm, at one point, they have the life vests on, and they remove their life vests, and they presented to volunteers who are there, basically represented either by the Boy Scouts or the Sea Cadet program. So it's actually a reenactment of what took place aboard the ship. And the ceremony we conclude with the playing of taps, and then everybody sings God Bless America, and followed we have some refreshments, coffee, cake, and cookies. But it's really a very impressive ceremony. And the first time I saw it several years ago, I was kind of like overwhelmed because I didn't really know that much about it. Now I know much more about it. So it's something that we look forward to each year.
Yeah, I'm surprised that there's not more, that there hasn't been more notoriety of that thing. It's I would expect at least a movie with John Wayne.
And I want to tell you something. We have relatives who live in Sebastian, Florida, which is on the East Coast between between Melbourne and Vero Beach. Yeah. And down by the water, they have various monuments. And I was very surprised to see a very large monument in honor of the four chaplains.
Wow, yeah, I haven't heard that story.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it doesn't get as much notoriety as it should get. Yeah. But you
know. Just a little aside about John Wayne. Yeah. I forget there was an actor that was on the Johnny Carson show. You know, and John Wayne was the next guest. And you know, he introduced John. He was talking to Carson, then they introduced John Wayne. So he said the actor, I forget who it was, he said he felt like standing up and saluting because you know that John Wayne single-handedly won World War II.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I love Johnny Carson. I watch that religiously, you know?
Well, but I think it was also the fact that I was younger and I stayed up late.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Johnny Carson, I used to see live, it was before
Yes.
the shows were taped. And I was in
I
New
think
York.
I think I was like 14 years old watching Johnny Carson, which was, I guess, not the best thing in the world, but
No,
it
no,
was,
I don't
it was
know.
good.
You learned a lot. I mean, he
Yeah.
was, because he really didn't go into the blue humor that much, but he had a way of, communicating.
And I'll tell you what, I never knew what political preference he was either,
Yeah.
because he basically went after everybody, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it was an interesting way of presenting it.
Maybe that was like Don Rickles, who insulted everybody.
Yes, yes.
And
He used to be a guest on that show very often, Don Rickles.
If you weren't insulted by Don Rickles, you didn't rate.
That's true. That's true.
But anyway, what happens after that in February?
Okay. So the next significant date is February 19th, when we have our military ball and post commanders night. And we have that at Leonard's of Great Neck. I don't know if you're familiar with Leonard's of Great Neck.
I've been to a lot of weddings and sweet 16s there. Remember, I'm a New Yorker.
Oh, that's right. Okay, good. So it's basically from 12 to 4 in the afternoon, and all members of the American Legion family are welcome to attend. That is the American Legion Auxiliary, the Sons of the American Legion, and the Legion Riders. And in the good times, we've had close to 300 people. With the virus and all, it's a little different, but we're trying to make this one a good one in February. Now, excuse me, some of the highlights are, we have a pageant whereby the post commanders and their probably adjutant or other staff members, they come out in the procession with their colors, and they present themselves to the county commander, and they receive their county commander's pin. Then they move off and form on the side of the catering hall. And that goes through maybe 40 or 50 different posts that may be there. And that's includes, like I said, American Legion, or the auxiliary units, or the squadrons. Okay, so when that is all over, then what happens is we have what we call an 11th hour ritual, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, when the World War I ended. And it's a ceremony that we conduct, followed by like a moment of silence. Once that's completed, we go into our POW MIA ceremony, prisoner of war, missing in action, where we spend some time recognizing the POWs and the MIAs. When that's done, then we have what we call as a pageant review. All those units that I talked about originally now come and pass and review the county commander, and then they march off into the sunset. Okay.
Are you guys? Do you have a uniform? Do you have a uniform that you wear, or?
Well, yeah, we have a basic county uniform, and that's blue blazer, blue shirt, gray pants, black socks, black shoes, and the county wears is the county tie. Each county commander, when they become county commander, they present to their staff the county tie. And that's what's worn during any county activities during the year.
You sound like when I was working in advertising, back in New York, where you wore blue blazer, gray slacks, cordovan shoes, white shirt, and a rep tie. That was like a uniform.
Yeah. And naturally, we have our American Legion caps.
American Legion cap.
Yeah.
And that's when is that? That's a latter part of February, did you say?
February 19th. February 19th. Yeah. And we have two past county commanders, Tony Paninastra and Frank Colon, who handle the planning and organization, send letters out to the posts get back to us, send out tickets, and so forth and so on. So it's a pretty big affair. but a lot of people like it because it gets a chance for everyone from the county to be together.
Now, do they have this simultaneously with are other counties doing the same things on the same date?
No. They may have it, but they don't have it on the same day. Because, for instance, we will invite the Queens County Commander and the Suffolk County Commander to our military ball.
No, but I'm wondering if, like in Michigan, whether they have a military ball, or California, whether they have a ball.
I think they do, but they probably have it at different times of the year.
So there's no coordination between the various.
No, not through the various counties in terms of when they have
or states.
No.
So there's really. Do you get any commands from is there a national group that sees all the posts throughout the country?
That sees all the posts?
No, that sort of not dictates, but sort of makes the
we have a national headquarters.
And where is that?
That's in Indianapolis. And what we will do, and at one point, if I get to it today, is we have a National American Legion convention. And at that point, people from all over the country go to a convention, and it's much larger, obviously. So we get a chance to mix and match with other people.
And by the way, when is that?
That's in the last weekend in August.
Okay, so we have all that time. We have another 7 months to plan a presentation of our show. And what you're doing.
Have laptop will travel? Is that what you want me to do?
No, or show the shows.
Yeah.
Do a conference, and maybe we could.
Possible. Yeah. Although it's kind of very, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of things going on at the same time, different meetings, different centers. So it's kind of hectic, but that's something that we might consider.
Yeah, but because I'm sure you have something that's involved with communications and public relations.
Sure.
And this is where the presentation would be. But anyway, just I'll plant the idea now, and then I could, and then I could browbeat you probably in March.
Okay, we'll as we get closer. Yeah. Okay. The other significant event in February is what we call a caucus meeting. We have 3 divisions in Nassau County: 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The 1st division will be conducting their caucus on February 24th. What's the purpose of it? The purpose of it is to nominate and endorse Legionnaires from the 1st Division who are seeking county positions. Okay, so the posts from the 1st Division attend this caucus, and before they attend, they have to present to the adjutant a list of delegates and alternates who they want to attend possibly the convention down the road. Now, gets a little complicated. How do we determine the number of delegates and alternates for each post? Is basically by paid members. The first 15 paid members in a post, that gives each post 1 delegate and 1 alternate. For each additional 25 paid members, they get an additional delegate and additional alternate. So depending upon the number of people you have in your post and the number of those people who are paid determines the number of delegates and alternates that you have.
Interesting.
Right. That's just the way it's set up. And again, and it's all based upon county membership. Now, also, if you have a past county commander from the 1st Division, that individual is also given the opportunity to vote. So it's paid members plus past county commanders. And the question is, they also have an option as to how they vote, and it's called either unit rule or uninstructed. In order to vote as unit rule, you have to have 50% or more of your delegates present at that caucus meeting. Now, that doesn't happen all the time, obviously, to get everyone together, but you try. If not, then you follow the uninstructed vote, which is basically your post commander is voting for the post. he represents the post, and you're giving him the option to vote for the post.
Because for some reason, it reminds me of when I was members of the different committees in the city, the Robert's Rules.
Okay. Yeah.
It's certain things that are dictated that you have to do.
Yeah, and once you start the meeting, there are, like you're saying, rules. There are about 20 different rules that are very boring, but are read one after another. So everyone understands how we are to follow the rules for the meeting. So it's interesting. It's interesting.
Right, as you could tell the way I do my show, I do not like rules and regulations and standard things. That's why it would be very bad for the again and the military.
Yeah. But if you didn't have rules, this would be very difficult to get through. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
yeah. And then what happens is, in March, the 2nd and 3rd divisions have their caucus meetings. Okay, so and why is the 1st division in February 1st? Because the county commander will be nominated from the 1st division. So therefore, we do the 1st division first, followed by the 2nd and the 3rd division. Okay. Now that I have you thoroughly confused.
Yes.
April is a
April Fools.
April Fool. Okay. In September, we would normally have what we call the department commander's visit. Okay. It didn't happen in September because of the virus. So and we don't know for sure when it's going to be, but we're projecting it to be in April. Mm. And what happens is the department commander, the president of the auxiliary, and the squadron commander for the department, Sons of the American Legion, they come down to visit Nassau County, Suffolk County, and Queens County. So in that, it's not that order, but when they visit us, they are with us for the entire day. Mm-hmm. Okay? And I'll give you an example of what I'm going to have to do. They will be staying at a local hotel. I have the responsibility of picking up the department commander and his wife or friend, okay, in my car with my wife, and we will take them to a local diner in Garden City where we have breakfast. Now, it's not only us, but there are other members of the auxiliary, other members of the county. So it's a group of about 25 or 30 people who have breakfast together.
And who picks up the tab?
The county does. Okay. Now, when we're finished breakfast, we then go to the Cradle of Aviation Museum, which is also in Garden City. And again, I will escort them to the Cradle of Aviation. It's a museum, and we spend maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours there. From there, we will go to Eisenhower Park, and you've heard me mention Eisenhower Park in the past. We have a memorial, a monuments and a memorial museum there. And whoever is the curator of that museum will take them around and explain to them and this and that. It's really a lovely place. And I say, if you ever come back, I will make sure that I take you there because it's really well done.
I'll hold you to it.
Okay. Now, when that's finished, then I take the department commander and his wife or friend back to the hotel. And then I come back to my house and change very quickly into my American Legion uniform, and then go back and pick them up at about 5 o'clock, where we have a reception at night at the Coral House, which is one of the catering halls in Merrick or Baldwin. I think it's Baldwin. And then when that's over, I then take them back into my car, drive them back to their hotel, and then I eventually get back home. And when I get back home, I say, "Thank God I'm home."
Did you do that with your wife, or?
Yeah. So it's probably from 6:30 in the morning to getting home around 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. But the whole purpose is to get me and he to know each other a little bit better, and to talk and so forth and share ideas. And I think in the long run, it's worthwhile.
Yeah, well, that's why you get paid the big bucks.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, so that's the department commander's dinner or visitation. Then we have a county commander's visitation. Okay, now that's a little different. I'm sorry, not a county commander, the national commander's visitation. There you have the 10th district, you have Queens County, Nassau County, and Suffolk County, where we all get together at a place called Anton's. I don't know if you know Anton's on Springfield Boulevard and Jamaica Avenue.
No.
It's a very large catering hall, and there you could have maybe 300 to 400 people. Again, that was before the virus.
For COVID, yeah.
Yeah, and he and his staff are there, and he makes a presentation, and it's another pretty nice night. And that would be the two highlights in April. And I'm going to get through this, I think, maybe.
No, you have about 40 seconds left.
Oh, okay.
We'll do the second half next week.
We'll do the second half next week, and we'll go into May and June and July and August.
Yeah, good. But it sounds like it's a almost like a full-time job.
It is. If I was working full time, it would be very difficult to do this, but thank God I'm not. So I have more time and more flexibility.
Yeah. So are people, are they generally the commanders, in your position a little older, or do you have any, people in their 30s and 40s that are commanders, or that's too young?
Or national commanders?
Yeah.
No. They would be my age.
Your age.
Yeah. I could be a little bit younger, a little bit older, but not like 20 or 30 years old. Because you got to remember, to be a national commander, you're in the American Legion for about 25, 30 years and have done all different capacities, So.
And who I was speaking to Sid, and he's the commander of his region.
He's the post commander.
Post commander.
Right.
And it's only supposed to be but a year, and I think he said he's been there 10 years because nobody wants to take it over.
Well, that's part of the problem. In some of the posts, nobody's willing to step up and help out. So Sid, who is an outstanding individual, continues to move forward, which is good.
Right, but I think he said the person that he took over the post was in that position for 22 years.
Oh,
if my numbers are right.
That's a long time.
I know.
Wow.
But anyway, Pat, our half hour is up.
Okay.
But I expect all of this in a spreadsheet to be sent to me, delineating all the meetings and what the functions are, like a family tree type of things.
Well, maybe you can plan a visit in April, Malcolm, and maybe we can get you to attend one of these.
I'll try to. As I said, I'm working on some things with I told you, one of the local posts in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I know I mentioned that. Yeah, I mentioned it to Sid, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think he's gotten the call yet, though.
No. In fact, the commander there he's called me up last night, and he said they have a meeting. He's proposed it. And he said, he call me up? I said, yes. I never got a call from him.
Oh, okay.
I told him to listen to our show to get some ideas. But anyway.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
It's been fun. We'll get together next week, same time, same station.
And enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, and the last night of Hanukkah is Sunday, so I'm sure you'll light 8 candles.
We do that, yes. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.